Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Hearthstone. So we need some more Tavern Brawl victories and we need some more priest things, and I don't think I'm gonna get them all, but we'll go for another 30 minutes, do our 3 recordings so we can start building up again. I really don't have enough to go for another hour of talking about things. Let's see, go back to using their deck
versus
on the Hearthstone deck tracker.
Let the games begin. Oh, they already
This
have.
Portal, Tavern Brawl, I don't know. I don't know about it completely. I think it might be alright, but it might also kind of suck. The problem, I suppose, inherently with this is that you can't possibly make a deck like this, so you're not really learning anything in a true fashion or a realistic example fashion. I mean, it's like if a math teacher told you, in this example, 2 plus 2 is going to equal 5. So we're going to teach you something from that concept. It's like, wait a minute, well, 2 plus 2 doesn't equal 5, so everything you just said is suspect. Ooh, Leroy Jenkins. Maybe I should hold on to Leroy Jenkins for a while. They usually play him right when you're about to win. But just gonna kind of hold back, I guess. What else can I talk about? Let's see. What game was I recording before? Man's Quest. Man's Quest, Costume Quest. That was it, yeah. What was I recording before then? I think I Have No Mouth That I Must Scream was the thing I recorded before then, and before that I recorded The Cat Lady, yeah. I haven't made a ton of progress recently, but maybe I'm maintaining at least a 2-month lead. Maybe I'm not totally blowing this as a thing. I don't know. At a certain point I'd like to get into the Lego Harry Potter series, so that's, I think, the game after the next game if I have extra time, because I'm waiting for the follow-ups of Resident Evil 4 and BioShock, and to see if those will actually go through that time slot. If they're not going to go through that time slot, then I need to move something else around. 4 armor to gain a 4-cost minion, or random particle. Let's do this.
Job done.
I'm gonna stop to that.
Not doing much here. Let's go to our board here. So an article came up talking about 4K 60 frames per second, like 2 Titan-esque Pascal video cards, which I heard they're starting to be in stock again, but they're really expensive, way above the manufacturer's suggested price type thing. More and more that I look at like the level of, let's see. Let's do this. And this. And let's do this. And anything that kills this one ends the turn, so I might as well just...
Time's up. Let's do this.
That just ends the turn right there, but it doesn't actually end the turn. It just says I can't attack anymore. So they tried 4K at 60 frames per second. It's still not doable. It really isn't. Even if you probably had 4 of the Titan X's of the new Titan X's in an SLI format. SLI itself is a nightmare, and I wouldn't recommend getting SLI or doing SLI anymore. Maybe for a hot minute there it kind of made sense, but it has to be integrated into so many games, and so many games aren't even integrating the basics of video card stuff correctly. How in the world could you even trust them to do other things correctly? Let's see. 6 health for a 6 cost minion, or 5 health. Let's do this. I'm hoping for something with spell damage plus 1.
The sleeper has awoken.
Nope.
I have big plans.
So yeah, 4K is not doable. It's still just not doable at 60 frames per second. I think 1080p 60 is still kind of the goal, and you can almost on a 1080 on ultra graphic settings get that, it seems like. But even Rise of the Tomb Raider puts so much stuff on there, maintaining a steady 60. It seems impossible. So I just don't think the resolution is necessary right now. I don't think it should be the goal, because the truth of it is that with
I got the best deals anywhere.
every time you attempt,
Oh, it rises.
every time anybody attempts to do higher resolutions, they want more effects in it. And frankly, we do want more effects. We want to see things on Ultra in 1080p, I think, a lot more than we want to see things on medium settings at 4K. Particularly since I'm on the TV and I'm not right in front of this monitor, and people are very slow to get new monitors, in my opinion. I don't see people on Twitter going, hey, I bought a new monitor. I see people on Twitter going, hey, I bought a new video card. And getting a 4K monitor with a relatively high resolution of 4K for a decent amount of money is close to impossible.
Time to play.
So, yeah, it's a shame. At some point I will go to 4K, but I don't know. In a somewhat similar thing, I saw somebody do a 360 walkthrough of basically what was a museum, and it had a bunch of small things on the shelf, and you could not, watching it, even on my cell phone where I could do the whole 360 and look around, you could not zoom in to see any of the stuff on the shelf. So that's kind of the problem with high resolution images, is if you can't zoom in, if you can't see, you can only get yourself physically close enough to the monitor, and that's still not going to really give you what you want. Let's see. Can I do this?
For Blackwing!
Let's see. whenever you cast a spell, get a fireball. That would be nice.
In the light.
Checkmate. Well done.
So there's a nice video. The other thing about video cards right now is they need to just kind of optimize themselves a little bit more. Just so they're smoother, less crashy, don't need as much cooling to happen, stuff like that. Just optimizing. And that's kind of funny because Intel, the owner of NVIDIA, I believe now,
Let the games begin.
unless that's changed, has announced a new line of 14 nanometer processors, which is weird because what they have been doing for several years now is they would have a line that was their new process of how small it was. So it would go from like 45 nanometer to 32 nanometer, 22 nanometers, and we've gotten down to 14 nanometers. The series before the last series was 14 nanometers, and then after that, after a year and a half, 2 years, they would release another line that was just the same process but a little bit more optimized, required less heat to do the same amount of work, so less fanning, less cooling, such like that. It required less cooling, actually. It made less heat. They were more efficient in the literal term of efficiency, I believe. Although that may actually not be the literal term of efficiency. But instead of, since they've done those two recently for the 14 nanometer, you would certainly expect that their next thing would be right in line, because that's what they're doing. They know all they're doing is they're making machines. They can make smaller machines. They can make smaller machines over and over again. And it really isn't as much of that as it is almost a chemical process. Go ahead and use this guy. I think he's a good guy to play right here in this Tavern Brawl. So they should be down to like the 10 nanometer. That was the next thing there. And I believe it's picometer after nanometer, if they can get it down to like 1 nanometer processors. And a lot of that is kind of dishonest too, because not all of the circuitry is always guaranteed to be the same width. So it may be that the actual core processor is this wide, but the memory cells inside of it, the level 1 and level 2 cache, is still running at 22 nanometer. But I mean, in the end, the newest processor will always be better. But they're taking an extra step to become more efficient, and much like the video cards, I think that might be a good thing. It might help lower the prices of some processors, although I don't really feel like I need to buy a new processor anytime soon. I think I've got an i7 if I'm remembering correctly, and I think that's kind of all I need for a while. The number of cores that are actually optimized for and used for playing video games can be as low as 1, maybe 2. Despite all the progress they make, they don't really get that core 400 megahertz, 500 megahertz of a processor, much higher than that. So you'll get like a 4 gigahertz processor, but it's because of them playing tricks with the numbers more than it actually having one core that can do 4 gigahertz. And I'm not sure anybody actually even needs that.
I want wanted to play Peter Pan!
Who is this character? Romulo. Yeah, all these characters, you can't use them in the regular game. That seems ridiculous. So, technology is moving forward, not as fast as I would like. I wish I could cheaply, for about $250, get a video card that would totally save the day and give me 4K at 60 on all games for the next 4 to 5 years, and no amount of new graphics, no amount of NVIDIA hairworks, no amount of effects of explosions and fires and blades of grass and blades of hair, all the waving fabric on banners, all of that stuff. Like, I wish that was the case, but it just isn't.
I wanted to play Peter Pan! I knew it! Job's done.
I thought I was going to win right there. Oh well. So, I'm kind of happy with the computer I have for now. I would kind of like a more powerful. Like a 1080 would be a big improvement over a GTX 970, but if I can just wait until the next line of video cards come out and I went to an 1180, which I assume would be the next line, that feels like that would probably be a bigger progress. So, two more things to talk about. At least one game developer has said on record that they feel that Steam Spy is dangerous to their employees and themselves. And Steam Spy just kind of collects the information of Steam and tries to rightfully guess how much a game, how much money a game has made, and stuff like that. And it's just, Steam Spy is really used, I think, mostly for people trying to figure out when was a game the cheapest and is this sale actually worth selling. And in the past they've been willing to take certain games off their things at their request, and since then they've said, no, we're going to restore everything back to the way it was, and we're not going to honor requests to hide information. Now, this is an interesting argument here. The reason why the developer says it's putting their employees and themselves at risk is because some of their employees and such work in countries where corporate kidnappings, and I assume some of them might even work in areas where the type of game that they might be working on might get them arrested or even executed for heresy. So, like, if you were working in Saudi Arabia and you worked on a game that didn't do everything the Saudi Arabian government liked, you might just get arrested or executed, or you might get corporate kidnapped. Corporate kidnapping is when somebody kidnaps you because they think you have money and they demand a ransom for it, and that's just how they make their money. It's not like they're trying to particularly kidnap you for any personal reason, it's just they think you have money. And so the Steam Spy, I suppose, might be pulling up it. Now, here's where it kind of leaves me a little confused is, does Steam Spy collect the names of employees of people that worked on a specific game or for a specific company? Because unless you put that information in Steam, how would they get that? Because I think all Steam Spy does is collect stuff that's on Steam. So didn't you as the employee or the employer put your own employee at risk if you put his name on a game? I mean, there's no real law or anything that says you have to list your employees in such a public fashion.
All along.
The whole thing just seems very confusing. And unfortunately, the truth of it is, I have to say the whole argument is BS. And all they really want is they want their game not on Steam Spy, so people can't tell as easily that when they mark the price up to $30 and then mark it back down to $20, that isn't actually a sale, because a week before it was $20 and most certainly a week after it will be $20. This is a fraudulent practice that is allowed, I think, in the United States and not allowed in other countries. So unfortunately, in the United States, you can kind of sell something even for like a second at a price of $100 and then knock it down to $10 and say it's 90% off, if in actuality it's always been $10. It happens on Steam, on digital medias, on Amazon.com all the time. Almost every single retail suggested price and such is just manipulation on Amazon.com, and it's never ever been sold at that actual price. So you have to, again, buyer beware, and it sucks. But I think it's legal in the United States, unfortunately, so they can get away with it. And I think that's 100% the thing here, is they're trying to get Steam Spy. Unless I am completely wrong about what Steam Spy does. Unless it is somehow they are getting the employees of a company and figuring out who they are, what their name is, where they work. They would have to basically be doxing, document dropping, doc dropping the employees of that company, which in itself I don't think is illegal, while it is disallowed on many sites. Apparently YouTube says if you say somebody's name, that's not document dropping, but if you were saying like their address and where they work and stuff, and facilitating a potential stalker is probably the right thing that they're potential kidnapper, potentially rob, stalker. And I guess that's really what this game developer is really accusing them of, is that they're just doc dropping their employees, which doesn't make sense. So I can't put any weight to it. I really can't. It seems like they have just a more nefarious reason that they want to manipulate the prices on Steam, like lots of people do, so they can sell their game. Speaking of manipulating prices to sell your game, a weird thing has happened somewhat. So there's this game that came out called In Case of Emergency Release Raptor. An amazingly good name for a game, because certainly easy to remember, and it's not going to get used again probably in a very long amount of time. Unlike a game like Echo, which there's already at least one game on Steam called Echo, and yet they're making another game called Echo. You gotta do your search engine optimization there, your SEO, and that is a really great thing. But from what I looked at it, it's not really a great game. It's kind of like you play as a raptor running around fighting robots in a facility so it's like maybe the facility's being attacked by robots, little drones, and you as a raptor running around trying to destroy them. Didn't look like it. It seems like they probably got the raptor design from the Unity assets. They probably got the entire facility from the Unity asset store. They probably got the robots from the Unity assets store. I'm not gonna say it's just a complete asset flip, but it's the step above that. It's when somebody actually does take some effort, it seems, to make a game, but they really don't have the skill or any original content created in there. So
Honor made to fit.
So that's what it looked like, and I don't know if that's really what it is or not. And it doesn't seem like I will ever, because after 3 days it was pulled from the store and no longer available for sale. Now, the company or the game that this company made was called Star Wars Rogue. I couldn't get it straight whether Star Wars Rogue was the name of their first game they released, or if it's the name of the company. And apparently they released a game and they weren't very responsive to it, and they weren't responsive to the feedback, and they didn't do their audience the right way, and thus
Bless you.
that one didn't cause some controversy. And so, in a weird way to kind of try to avoid controversy, it seems like he's just they just decided to pull the game, just stop selling it. And then they say they're gonna bring it back free to play. I don't know what free to play element you could put in a game like that, but I guess they could certainly try.
Thank you.
Whenever we're gaining,
Strike.
are we gaining armor each time this happens?
Job's done.
Yeah, slowly. So, yeah, they pulled it. Weird. Which is weird. I mean, this should never happen in the video game industry. It really shouldn't. Either you know your game is good
Drink with me, friend.
and you're ready to publish it, or you know your game is bad and you shouldn't publish it. You shouldn't publish it and then realize your game is bad and then decide, well, now that I've learned this game is bad, I'm going to treat everybody right by pulling it and giving refunds. And I mean, he's fully refunding everything. It's just like, I suspect maybe there was more to it, and it maybe some stolen art would be my first assumption. Is somebody called them out or saw the game and said, "Hey, you stole my art. You didn't. You used something without permission." That's kind of what I would assume is going on there. Let's go ahead and hit this guy.
Careful.
And hit this guy in the face. So yeah, that's what I would assume is something there going there, and that's the real reason they pulled it. But I don't have any evidence to that fact, so that's kind of just a baseless speculation. It's kind of weird. I mean, but test your games. It shows a very flippant attitude, particularly since this company said that this first game sold badly, and if the next game didn't sell better, they were going to go out of business. And then this game was selling so badly, they pulled it, and that was part of the other reason why they pulled it, was because it was selling badly. Let's see. If I do this and this, and then this.
One day, I'll be a real knight.
Job's done.
But so his last chance, I assume that's what he's thinking, is that the company is going to go out of business, is to pull it. But then why pull it? Why not just take the money and run? It seems weird, very weird. I can only assume that the creator of this company, of these games, and the person in charge just doesn't think things through. That's really all it screams, is you didn't think anything through at all. well, that's it for everything to talk about. So, time to erase my electronic whiteboard thing, boogie board, whatever it's called. We're at 30 minutes here. Unless I can pull out this victory, we won't actually see any of the quests done. I've run out of things to talk about, and that's the indicator.
Welcome to the grand tournament, champion.
Job done.
How many fingers do you see?
So this guy's up to 27, I'm up to 52. I have 17 cards, he has 11 cards, or 14 cards. If I can see over the Hearthstone deck tracker. Maybe I'll get higher in the ranks while I play off screen, maybe not. Tomorrow is the final week of One Night in Karazhan, and that will be a difficult day. So I don't want to spend too much time here. Last recording session did go for several more hours after I was done recording. Like, now I gotta play more, and now I gotta play more. Just could not get victories. It's a nightmare. So I don't want to go 2 days of struggling to do things. Fortunately, I guess I won't really struggle too much tomorrow because all I have to do is beat the final week. And then spend the rest of it just building decks. And building decks is impossible to lose at because all I have to do is build a deck. That's it. There's nothing else to it. I just have to think about things, think about the new cards and how I want to integrate it. And I think this time I'm going to look at all the cards for a specific character and just see what combinations we can have, see what kind of things maybe I can craft with dust if I have enough dust to craft anything. I don't think I really will craft that much though, because I'll have all the One Night in Karazhan cards. I should, and so the only things I don't have are common cards and the other expansion cards. I could buy 50 packs of regular things, but I don't see a real reason to do that. Here's a thought though, as we're struggling through this and just going. I could do a card pack a day for like for an advent calendar. Would I want to sing there? On this day of Christmas, my true love gave to me. Like, and then open a card pack and then sing whatever happened. I would have to record the video and then do the audio on top of it. Nobody wants to hear me sing. That's ridiculous, but I could certainly open 30 card packs for Christmas as an advent calendar. Next year, I was planning on having enough extra games that I get from like humble bundles or something to give away potentially. It's not guaranteed, but I was thinking about giving away a Steam code for a game every day for the advent calendar. Just really work on that month to try to get new viewers, although Christmas is probably one of the busiest months, and yeah, Christmas is the entire month basically at this point. I misspoke there, but it's kind of true. So I probably won't get that many more views. I have gotten more views for Stranger Things. Turns out one of the reasons, at least I would guess, is that my Stranger Things videos have worked so well is that some website took my video and just put my video in their article about it. and they didn't credit me or anything, but they embedded my video, so people are watching my video and I'm still getting views from that. But they should. Good journalism states they should have credited me and told me about it, contacted me and stuff, but obviously it seems this website is probably just a full-on like thief of content in a sense. They just, whatever YouTube video came up there first, they would have put that there without even caring. And in the end, it got me the ad revenue of a few cents. In fact, this was the first week that I've ever gotten more views than the Hearthstone, how to set up Hearthstone deck tracker video. And Stranger Things season 2 was announced a couple days afterwards, so I may even get a small bump again from that, which would be nice. But yeah, there's... I don't think I can do anything more to milk it, and I hope it just gets me more viewers for my other series. And then there was a problem with that. At the first episode of any series, including Spotlights, where there's only one episode, the intro is always very slow. It's always talking about setup and all that. You can't just jump into the game, because if I just jump into the game, then I'm not introducing myself. I'm not doing anything different than what a dozen other people do wrongly. Like, if I'm not adding my twist to it and making my own imprint on it, then I'm not going to stand out from the crowd, and I'm probably at that point just infringing on copyright of somebody else if I'm not making commentary, criticism, review, or anything. Yeah, I don't really have a leg to stand on if I just go, if I just hit start and don't say anything and just play with the mic muted, or don't add anything. So yeah, there's a problem there. I could put annotations on the screen, skip to the beginning if I wanted to, but I'm not sure that many people complain about it, really. Of the like 800 people that have watched that video, it's 2 thumbs up, 1 thumbs down, and like 2 comments. So that kind of sucks. It kind of sucks like this fight. Why is this guy not won already? He's got 4 cards remaining. What is he doing? He's just screwing with me, I'm sure.
Ah, the great outdoors.
Let's see, each player draws a card. Maybe if I can keep... Let's see. Can I do this again? Ooh, yes.
Ah, the great outdoors.
Job's done. Darn it. Well, he's down now to 2 cards.
I'm almost out of cards. I'm out of cards.
So maybe I can make him run out of cards. See, and if it was just like Yu-Gi-Oh, where the second you run out of cards you lose, it would be fun. But it's not like that. You'll just take a little bit of damage. Is he just trying to see what the portals summon? They seem to summon pretty much everything. See, is he taking me down, or is he helping me survive? What is he doing? If there was only some way I could get rid of every single card he has, including the cards in his hands. See, if I could do enough damage to his face, and he keep this guy alive, so he draws more and more damage each time. But, I mean, he's gonna see this. If he really wants to win, he'll win. Why did he have a different hero ability than me? He must have changed it at some point.
Join or die, or both.
Whenever one of the other minions dies, draw a card. Cool. I like that card.
Here's to my love.
At your even turn, restore 5 health to your
Let's don't get complacent.
So he's running out of cards. So if only there was a way to keep myself alive long enough for this to work.
Job done.
So here's the deal. We want this guy killed, this guy killed,
That's incredible.
and this guy killed, and this guy killed. If you do that, he'll just take more and more damage each time. And it's just getting worse and worse. So even the 5 damage he gets back from Romulo here is not enough. He has to know what he's doing.
Death again.
Well, he finally killed that character.
I got the best deals anywhere.
Whenever you cast a spell, draw a card. Good. Cast a spell. So that's exhausted him. But he probably could just win right now. So I would need something that would completely, like, save the day. And I just
You're
don't
not
think that's
that
gonna happen.
sharp. Job done.
See, 8 damage. If only this guy had drawn another 9 damage, he would be down to 10. He is so letting me win, though. This is very interesting. What's gonna suck is this is gonna be the end of the recording. We've gone 15 extra minutes. And he's gonna do something like that. So he's just messing with me for some hopefully scientific reason. I don't know. So yeah, I guess I could totally afford to buy 3,000 gold worth of classic packs. Could I spice it up a little bit? What if I bought like the latest expansion, the classic expansion, and the grand tournament expansion, and split that between 3 days? That wouldn't be too bad. That's certainly something to think about. I'll have to give it some thought, because I don't know when the next expansion is, but I imagine it's going to be a while, but maybe not that long too. So the right move, of course, is to buy 50 packs of classics, but you know, it wouldn't be too bad to do that and have a little extra too. Have a little fun with it. Anywho, we've gone long. That's it for this recording. Remember, I've still got a lot of Hearthstone to play here. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps out. If you want to support me further, you can click on my name Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.